Welcome back to the Best Damn Nerd Show. James Kincaid alongside Professor Chris Davis and Jonathan Craig. And before the break, we mentioned Chris Pratt's latest release, the sci-fi vehicle, The Tomorrow War. I had heard nothing about it, and then all of a sudden I saw, it creeping up on social media and everything like that, and thought, what the heck? I got nothing better going on. Might as well give it a whirl. How bad could it be? David,
yeah,
exactly. I mean, it was so. Keep that in mind. I came in with zero knowledge, zero expectations, and a moderate adoration of Chris Pratt. Hey, I like the guy, even if he's in those terrible Jurassic World movies.
Even if he is a fucking Republican.
Well, and his reputation has been damaged a little bit since leaving Anna Faris. But
is he even a Republican? He's just like
I don't know.
He's just like mildly Christian, and Hollywood is like, get his ass out of here.
I have about
he's not gay. What the hell?
I have about as much knowledge of Chris Pratt his personal life as I did about the movie The Tomorrow War coming into it. I just kind of like the guy. Seems like a good dude. So anyway,
they're not allowed to have personal lives.
Yeah, well,
they're here for our entertainment.
Something of an oxymoron, I grant you. But The Tomorrow War, Davis also watched it. A little bit of a mini movie night segment here, as we'll dive into it a little bit. Davis, you said during the break, guaranteed a fun segment. So what'd you think of The Tomorrow War?
Guaranteed.
Yeah. Because
you in our Discord, bestdamnnerdshow.com/Discord, join us in the conversation. You said
thank you.
You really enjoyed it.
I did, for what it was.
This was something that you really enjoyed, and holy shit, was it bad?
Okay.
Are you kidding me?
Look, there's definitely what I said on Facebook.
No.
The Tomorrow War was ridiculous, and it was a lot of fun. It was enjoyable, but there were times fun. Like I could have like the Volcano Kid. If you want to get into that, was definitely like that was crossing the line with me. Like for the most part, the Tomorrow War.
You want to telegraph something? You want to telegraph something? Holy shit.
Yeah, go ahead. The Volcano Kid. Your thoughts.
Yeah. No, there was a scene at the beginning of the movie. Chris Pratt is a science teacher, a very underappreciated science teacher because he should be in some bigger role, probably in the science industry.
He has a glorious purpose.
and he's asking, the kids what they want to talk about because of what's happened. And to go over what's happened during the World Cup in 2022, future soldiers from 2050 or so have come back to let everybody know that the human race is going to be extinct. And I love that they came out during the World Cup, except that I don't think America would actually get on board.
No, but the rest of the world. Did.
Yeah, But could you imagine if they did World Cup might be a little much.
It should have been the Super Bowl.
Let's go with cricket because that's the second most watched sport in the world.
Bane already did football. So
I wish they did cricket because
is cricket really the second most watched?
No, can't be
in the world.
In the world,
yeah, I think it is.
First of all, I wanted to talk about the Volcano Kid, and yes, that was over the line in terms of the camp and stupid factor, the absurdity level that happens in this movie.
Okay, my big gripe with this movie is it moves incredibly fast, and it's fun. It's a lot of fun. It's an action flick. It knows what it is. However, when it gets to the point of he comes back with the serum or the toxin that's going to kill the white spikes, it should end. There should be a little bit of dialogue there.
So you liked this movie so much is that you wanted a sequel. Is that what I'm hearing?
I wanted a trilogy.
Oh, sounds like a pretty good movie if you want two more.
It could be. It fucking could be if it ended at the right time. The lore, that's what I'm getting on here, is that I think there is a lot to go on here. I think there's a lot of story. There's a lot so much to dive into that was just glossed over. That
They did cram a lot in.
From what I read, it was a lot of COVID reasoning.
Sure.
Okay, I get it, but you have 2 movies here, easily. Yeah. You have 2 easily done movies here.
I would agree with that. I didn't mind that they wrapped it all up because, whatever. Like I said, coming into this with 0 expectations, I probably would have been more bummed out if I didn't get a resolution, because it's like, who knows if I'll watch the second one. I really enjoyed watching this, and I think mainly because they hooked me immediately with their time travel premise. It's a cool time travel premise, a future draft of the past. Mm-hmm. Like it's super unique. The idea that they can only draft people into the future if they're already dead in that point in time as well was super interesting.
With no kids.
Yeah, exactly. And but Chris Pratt comes forward, and his daughter is the
Colonel. I'm sorry, with no new kids at that time.
So that to me just was a really interesting time travel concept. So they got me right in the early going, and I actually really appreciated the dynamic between Chris Pratt and his daughter. Also, a yoked out J.K. Simmons is in this movie, and I like that dude. That dude is killing it right now. Honestly, this movie would have benefited from more J.K. Simmons.
It's like when he got the role for his voice acting in Invincible, they didn't tell him it was an animated show.
Yeah, seriously, dude. He was
like, no, I'm ready. It's like, Jay, this is a cartoon. Oh man. Oh, well, I'm ready for this movie then. That's good.
So method, he became Omni-Man. But I really liked the scenes. Like, they are so overwhelmed by the creatures, the white spikes or whatever. I actually think the white spikes looked pretty good. Yeah. They weren't what I was expecting in terms of what we'd be going against in this movie. They're sort of Rachni or Tyrannid-esque. There are certain similarities to Starship Troopers in this, for sure.
There were very cool aspects of the white spikes, because they kept, it wasn't just the evolution of the white spikes of where they came from, it was the evolution of the white spikes throughout the movie of what they were capable of. And at the beginning, it was just like an arachnid, like you're talking about, James, of Starship Troopers bugs. They shoot spikes, bam, 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 here we go. And now it's like, okay, cool, we're trying to take the queen, they're coming off the cliff. Oh shit, they actually have like flying squirrel wings and they can glide. Now they can take out flying things. Okay, now we're at the end of the movie. Now we're in this water world base. No, they can't get there. Okay, that makes sense. Oh no, they can swim too.
Yeah.
FYI, by the way, they can do everything.
They were very unrelenting. I got like World War Z vibes from them, actually, with how they overtook places and even just the visuals of it. It's funny you talk about the projectiles that they shoot out, the literal spikes. Reminded me of, funny enough, Spike from X-Men 3, how his projectiles looked. Depending on how you feel about X-Men 3, whatever. Greatest casting of all time, Kelsey Grammer's Beast.
And they communicated. Like, they would go and they were trying to corner people. They were trying to flank. Like, they would talk.
Chris Pratt was definitely playing this, at least on the mode where the AI was pretty decent. So,
but there was plenty of moments where you're like, well, I thought they could do this, so why aren't they?
And I've seen the polarizing reaction. Look, I'm not going to act like this is anything that's going to win an Oscar or anything like that, but I enjoyed watching it. And one of the things that somebody texted me as a detraction point from this was, and it's something that I felt while I was watching it, it plays out like a video game. Like, this is the storyline. What I was saying, I was like, oh man, this would make a badass video game, is one of the first things I thought about. And it might have made a better video game than a movie. You can make that argument for sure. Like, I would absolutely 10 out of 10 play this video game. Conceptually, again, the uniqueness of their time travel concept is great. They did have to get a lot in. to end it all in one movie. The Volcano Kid was one point that was over the line. For the most part, I thought they struck the right amount of camp. The other part, though, and it isn't a key part, that was a little bit much, was when J.K. Simmons, and spoiler alert, everybody, is going to do the fatherly sacrifice thing and apologize, only for like a CGI Chris Pratt to intercept the White Spike Queen. But other than that specific moment, though, that whole last fight with the Queen was pretty awesome. Like, I love the sniping, how he the disguise in the snow. J.K. Simmons is great. Needed more.
Yeah.
Give me more. I gotta have more J.K. Simmons.
No, it was fine. It was just like, it just seemed so rushed, and that final fight was good up until like the last half of it. But no, I think there was so much more lore there, and the Volcano Kid, okay. But I think my biggest issue with he comes back with the serum, and these trainees know who the Colonel is. They know who he is. And he has a vial, and they're not going to take it from him. They're not going to extrapolate that to make more, to try.
Well, they did. The people from the future did end up making as much as the serum as they could. It was the people from their time that when the government stopped cooperating, they tried. And I grant you that might be a weaker point of the film, and if they had more time, they could have focused on that.
Right.
But
they tried.
They're expecting a little bit of buy-in, that they lost the war, and the mentality of all the world's governments is, hey, we lost the war, so we're going to take care of our own until the inevitable happens.
And all that. Yeah.
Yes, and that whole idea. And hey, it's got a prevent climate change message to it too, because if we continue on this path, ladies and gentlemen, as the ice caps continue to melt, we got some fucking bug aliens. They're going to wake up in the heart of the gulag in Russia and kick our asses, dude.
It was so heavy on the climate change aspect.
I don't even think it was that heavy. I mean, I think it was just like it was just like a device to justify where. But I mean,
I'm fine with that, because people, hey, guess what? Get on board. We're dying.
I thought, well, not from the aliens, not yet, but I thought it was a fine device to justify how they woke up, though. You know, sure. Granted, maybe don't go to a kid in a high school science class to get your volcano knowledge.
It's like, there's one kid we know about.
Yeah. That was a little.
He's like, if you put the baking soda in first, and then you put the.
That's who we're gonna go with here.
Yeah, seriously, we all remember that volcano science project. That's a great call, John.
You got the blue ribbon, dude.
That was one of my favorite projects.
That's why I thought they were going with that kid in the beginning. It was like, every science project he just does a volcano. He's just an expert at history of volcanoes.
Apparently is like a volcano savant. But apparently, which is interesting.
I do love I did like the lore of this. I like the science aspects of it. I my big gripe, and it was very hard to get by for me, was that this could be so much more than what it was. And I think they needed to give them a little bit more credit to themselves about what they had here. And
I thought,
and I think it could have been fleshed out a lot better. And
the heart of the movie really worked for me too, in terms of the family underpinnings. Like the dynamic between Chris Pratt and his daughter, when you see them in the past, that he is a very loving, devoted father, like that all plays, only for him to find out that his future self, that he ended up leaving them and like sort of abandoned, like, but it wasn't him. So he can't even relate to that. So I don't know. That was a very unique family dynamic to play out on screen as well. And it all worked for me. And him having to watch his daughter die in the future, that's fucked up, man.
Oh, I'm sorry. No. Nah, bro. Like, there's so much wrong with that final scene with him and his daughter. It's not the final scene, it's the last of the future scenes. She, spoiler alert, Queen shoots her, stabs her, she's dying, she's bleeding out, she ain't gonna make it.
She wasn't going to make it anyway, though.
She ain't gonna make it. Exactly.
It's Rogue One. It's
This
Rogue One.
whole-
We aren't getting off this planet. They're blowing up the fucking planet.
This whole thing is like, bro, Chris Pratt, just fucking hide in a closet until
sure.
your timer goes off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
And
but,
he
it's
dives
his
off at...
daughter, though, dude. It's
I don't
his
care.
daughter.
I don't
you
care.
don't care because it's not your daughter. It's not our daughter.
No, it's his daughter
You gotta
in the
protect
future,
Natalia.
but he's got to protect her past daughter for living past that time. Otherwise, that daughter is going to die at that same moment.
Well, here's the thing. If they stop them before it ever happened, that daughter ceases to exist. That timeline ceases to exist, and then we have the TVA come and prune everybody because it's a nexus.
Oh my god!
Which is also stupid. let me just put it to you this way: the Tomorrow War does time travel way better than Loki does. So that's the bottom line. Does it way better, and it's way more interesting. 5 minutes of the Tomorrow War, and I was way more interested in the time travel of that movie than I was at all in Loki, which we will talk about coming up in the final segment of this show. But Tomorrow War, I would have liked to. It got me thinking. It's like, you know what? I do want to go back to the movies. This would have been a fun one to just get a big old popcorn and a soda. Maybe we sneak in after watching Season of the Witch with Nicolas Cage and Ron Perlman, and then we go.
I go Willy's Wonderland, and then this one, and then that's a great double feature. That could have been if COVID didn't happen.
Yeah, I don't know. This is one. I'd risk it all.
But I'd give my money to Willy though. I give my money to Willy.
No, I give my money to Chris Pratt, dude. He's probably gonna get bilked in that divorce with Anna Faris. I don't know. Maybe he already has. I don't know. Or maybe he hasn't. I don't know. Who cheated on who in that?
Go Anna.
I like them together though, for whatever reason. Anyway, the Tomorrow War. I say, do yourself a favor. Go ahead and give it a watch. The time
definitely watch
concept is very interesting to me. I had fun watching it.
100%.
I can't stop thinking about the fact that it would have been a great fucking video game. It would have been an awesome video game. And I liked his little squad of buddies too. I like that guy that was dying of cancer, so he essentially was playing with house money, just trying to kill those white spikes. It was good stuff, man.
I do like him. The side characters were, eh.
They weren't all winners. They really are.
The comedy aspect.
You didn't like it? That's weird. From you, I thought you'd just be lapping it up.
Yeah. So you didn't like it,
No,
right?
I've already pointed out the things that like for the most part they struck the right amount. They didn't punctuate serious scenes with comedy. I did not like the fact that our volcano expert was a child and like too much hinged on that, and I've called that out, and I've called it out as being ridiculous at times. But overall,
you didn't like the
shit
going down the stairs?
That actually didn't bother me because what the fuck would my reaction be?
I thought that was hilarious.
I didn't think it was funny. I thought it was actually kind of authentic because they were not trained soldiers other than Chris Pratt, who did time in Iraq.
Yeah.
Or his character. I don't think
they all
Chris
should have
Pratt's
been dead.
served.
They all should have been dead at the very beginning of that battle. So.
A lot of them did die, and even that guy that was saying shit, even that guy, but he only lived because he admits to the fact that he says I hid
at the end. That was like on his second deployment.
No, but that was he said he hid.
Yeah.
So
and that's what I would have done. I gotta hide for 7 days. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, I'll do that.
Tim's like, that's a snap for Tim Childs. It's like all disappear. So the premise, John, is after 7 days, this time draft, they get like snapped back to their time, and time keeps moving while they're gone too. So they are gone for a week of their own time, and a week advances. Wow. The idea, it's like it's 2 points in the time stream that are tethered together by a line, but it keeps going down time current. So it's not. So that's why they can't just. Well, why don't we just travel into the future when we know about this? Like, because it doesn't work that way. They are already at this point in the future, and things keep moving. So I don't know. I thought it was a very interesting attack on time travel. Yeah, it was a fun sci-fi shoot 'em up with some buggy aliens.
I'll have to check that out. It
Yeah,
does sound like an interesting video game for sure.
Yeah, it would have been an even better video game for sure.